So you've heard the situation with Roger Jackson, but let's talk about Rampage Jackson and whether or not he's failed his son in this situation. So for those of you who have a job like me and don't keep up to date with these situations, don't worry, I got your back. But before we get into this topic, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more amazing content like this. Let's get into it. So recently, as I spoke about in the last video, Roger Jackson is MMA fighter Rampage Jackson's son. And what basically happened is he got teased for allowing a wrestler to throw a fake can at him. He was called a bitch and all things of that nature. They were saying that, he takes disrespect and he's a weak man, a fake crasher, things of that nature. Heck, even his dad laughed at him. And ultimately, that led Roger Jackson to do something very dumb. Long story short, during the rest of the event, he threw the wrestler on the floor, started punching him up down to the point where he almost unalived this man. And well, there's a lot of things to be said. There's a lot of opinions that people have, but a lot of people also had some concerns about Rampage Jackson's parenting.
Let me call my son. Hey, yo. Because when I mentioned, did you get jumped by a bunch of dudes in tights, nigga? Did you get jumped by a bunch of dudes in tights? No. Well, I need to send my goons over there. No. You was hugging on a dude in some damn tights. Man, shut the fuck up. Man, you shut the fuck up. I looked at your stream, nigga. You was hugging on some dudes some booty shorts. I wasn't fucking hugging on nobody. Making shit up. I ain't make nothing up. All right, as long as you say.
You never know. Y'all keep playing with me on the there.
Now y'all got my son mad at me.
When we look at Rampage Jackson hanging around with his son, it's quite obvious that Rampage Jackson has a lot of love for his son. But the big question is Rampage Jackson a good father? And I guess what I would say about Rampage Jackson as a father with Roger Jackson, I feel that ultimately he's doing the best that he can, but he's still making a lot of mistakes. You see, when we look at the whole situation with Rod Jackson, right? I'm not going to sit here and act like he's this kind of victim or whatever it is. Yes, he did fall victim to taunting and encourage, all kinds of hyping up and blah, 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 blah. But when we look at the whole situation from a father perspective, because fathers are very important in the situation, what is Rampage Jackson like? For starters, we see that in some occasions, Rampage generally cares for Roger's feelings. And I guess ultimately he wants Roger to feel comfortable. I remember seeing a few videos of him, even though Roger's a vegan and Rampage is fully against that, Rampage made sure that he would apologize if he ever felt that his son was, feeling disrespected or whatever it is.
Roger, you mad at me for real for that?
Yeah, that shit pissed me off, bro. What's wrong with you?
Am I not a good dad?
Sometimes. Sometimes you're not.
For real?
Yeah.
Was that really bad what I did?
Yeah, that was very hurtful. You hurt my feelings.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
You will get teabagged for that.
No. Don't do that.
There's also times where he would big up his son and call him out and encourage him and things of that nature.
You doing good your first stream?
Yeah.
You like your son?
Yeah, it's fine. It's cool.
It's cool?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. You finally doing something like your dad, following your dad's footsteps.
Yeah.
You annoyed by me, ain't you?
Sometimes.
I'm talking about right now.
Oh, no.
Oh, you cool right now? Okay though? Everything good? You feeling okay? All right, I'm finna go live here in a second. But you don't look like you doing okay. Straight. Yeah, I saw a clip of the dude going too hard in the gym when you was going easy. You my best friend. You don't know that, do you?
Anonymous.
Yeah, I know.
$2.
You're my best friend too.
I wish my dad called me son.
I love you, son.
I love you too.
So it's clear and undeniable that Rampage Jackson is a good father. However, the problem with Rampage Jackson is that he treats Roger Jackson like his friend. And ultimately, when you treat your child like your friend, you start to have less of a responsibility role and more of an enabling peer kind of role. And that's the problem with this situation. What Rampage Jackson should have done as a father. Now, originally I was going to make a video critiquing the actions of Rampage Jackson as a father. But honestly, after further reflection about the whole situation and looking at who Rampage is as a person and Roger as a person, I can't in good conscience do that. Because I can't let one situation that's gone bad define the whole personality and character of somebody. It doesn't make sense to me. And I feel like that's where a lot of people are lacking when it comes to talking about this situation. A lot of people are saying things like, throw away the key for Roger, send him to prison, X, Y, and Z. And I understand why they're saying that. They're also even saying that Rampage Jackson isn't exactly the best father role model. I disagree with that though. And I'm not going to lie on here for views just because I want to spark outrage, whatever it is. I'm always going to say the truth and have integrity. When I look at Rampage Jackson as a person and the clips that I've put, it's very clear, like I said, Rampage Jackson is trying the best that he can with what he knows. Rampage Jackson, yes, does tease his son a lot. He does make a lot of jokes, and sometimes he takes it too far. But when I look at the clips and the way he interacts with his son, he's very conscious of how his son takes things. Like Rampage be saying a lot of BS to his son, and he be saying jokes that's like, okay, calm down. But if you look at the clips, like afterwards, he says those jokes. He's always like, oh, are you okay? Are you this? Like he's still conscious of what his son thinks about him. He also looks for validation with his son that he's doing a good job and everything like that. So yeah, he does say a lot of BS, but overall, he cares about what his son thinks. He's not perfect, and he still wants to maintain that kind of joking, which Raj probably said is okay. Just don't take it too far. But here's what we see: he prioritizes Raj more than himself and his jokes. But if you take the clips out of context, it just looks like Rampage bullies his son. They both have a joker relationship, and the only problem with that is that Rampage can't read the room. He doesn't know when his son is not in the mood to have those kind of jokes. And you see that sometimes he takes things a bit too far. And that happens with every human. He's very mindful of how he moves around his son. It is not Rampage Jackson's fault that Roger couldn't express openly what fully annoys him. Maybe he did, but maybe Rampage thought he was doing a good job because Rogers telling him that he's doing a good job. At the end of the day, you can say a lot of things about Rampage Jackson. Heck, you could bring up his past and his upbringing, whatever it is. But point being is that Rampage Jackson was there for his son financially. Rampage Jackson is there for his son presently as well. Rampage Jackson is clearly working on his emotional intelligence. He's not perfect, but he's trying. This is what a lot of people need to understand about parents, right? I hate this whole mad, super mad expectation that people have on parents. I am no way condoning bum parents. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about parents who were present and they weren't perfect. Yet again, constantly scrutinized for not doing this or that. The truth of the matter is, no parent is going to be able to do everything. Every parent is going to be lacking. And you see this when you even become a parent as well. Growing up, I used to have this mad annoyance for my mom. Like, oh, she should have been there for this. She should have been there for that. She put me this, that, and the third. But when I really look over it, yes, my mom lacked in those certain things that would have helped my development. However, she was there for me financially. She was present. She would pray for me. She would do all kinds of things like that. So for me, how ungrateful is it for me to sit there and be like, my mom was bad and failed as a mother, as this and that and the third, you know? So when I see people saying Rampage failed as a father, no, he didn't. Rampage Jackson is present for damn near all of his children's lives, and he provides all the time. He's not the best, but he has not failed as a father. He's done his responsibility. At certain points in our lives, we have to realize, yeah, that our parents can only go so far for us. And this is a case where Rampage Jackson can't go further than what he's doing right now. Roger is responsible for his own actions. He is 25 years old. An individual watching this who may relate with this situation in the sense that, like, you know, you blame your parents for not failing you in this area, whatever it is, that may be true. But there comes a point where it's about forgetting about what your parents lacked and you going forward and looking for that yourself, whether it be some more emotional care or being more, you know, considerate for the people, whatever it is, your parent is not God. Your parent is human being. They are going to make mistakes. Therefore, you need to go out there and look into your own life and see now where you need to take up the reins because they only did what they know how to do. That's just the fact of the matter. And with Roger, he's at a point right now where he needs to go and do that discovery for himself. Every time I see Roger on camera, although he's like happy and everything like that, from his body movements, the way he fidgets with things, the way he always has a screw face, there's something deeply troubling him. So he needs to go and look for that himself. He needs to not walk away from this situation just ignoring the things that's happened. He genuinely needs to do some deep, thorough work and look into what it is that's bothering him. But Rampage Jackson failing as a father, I wouldn't say that at all. I can't say Rampage Jackson fails as a father because that's just an ignorant take. You know, he is lacked in certain aspects, but overall failed as a father. Nah, I can't. It doesn't sit right with me. Raj Jackson, though, in the sense of like, you know, he's done all these actions right now. Does he deserve consequences for his actions? Yeah, absolutely. I do believe that he needs consequences for his actions. I don't think he should go to prison forever, but I do believe he needs certain consequences for his actions so he can further reflect upon his actions and be a better person. Because the fact of the matter is, a man almost passed away because of his actions. We can see here that Rampage didn't do this and that, but it's Roger who now has to carry his own cross. Roger needs to evaluate his own sins. Roger needs to evaluate what's really bothering him. Roger needs to evaluate how to be a better man because Rampage Jackson is clearly doing that from who he was before to who he is now. Rampage is a lot more considerate, more kinder, and has better self-control. We cannot just pick out bad clips of him or times where it doesn't seem that so favorable and then say, oh, he's this and he's that, X, Y, Z. Let's put the whole context inside the situation. Because as far as I'm concerned, yeah, Rampage used to be a crash out, but now he's a better person. Roger is now in this space where he's made a mistake. He's young and X, Y, Z, and he's made a dumb mistake, but he will be better. The point is, we need to focus on the breaking of generational curses. What we see now is that Roger has made a mistake similar to what his father would have done back in the day. And that could be the same thing for you. A lot of us don't seem to realize that because we are around our parents all the time, we are naturally going to pick up bad habits from them. That's just the fact of the matter. Even if you don't want to, it's going to happen. It happened to me. I dislike my father to this day. I don't hate him, but I dislike my father. But as I was developing as a human being, I realized I was adopting things from my father that I claimed I didn't like, but I was still doing them. So it could be easily you tomorrow. The point is, let's not be so focused on what our parents lacked and let's look at ourselves individually. You know what I'm saying? They may have contributed to this or that, whatever it is, but they tried the best that they could. We are all responsible for our livelihood. We are all responsible for what we do after our parents. And the fact of the matter is, we have to do our best to break generational curses. It's not about them. They can't help you do that. You have to do it yourself. You're out here waiting for an apology from your parent. You're out here waiting for a reflection from your parent or whatever it is. It's probably not going to happen because they tried the best that they could. So let's take responsibility as human beings. Stop blaming our parents for everything or looking at our parents of where they lacked. We could do that whole analysis. It may be a fun, a quick exercise, but just leads to more anger, resentment, and delaying of actually taking action to be a better person for yourself. So let's understand generational curses are real. And Roger is in a position where he could carry on that generational curse. Well, obviously, as a Christian, I pray that he doesn't do that. An individual watching this, make sure you're constantly evaluating yourself every single day, evaluating your parents' situation, not to judge them or to poo on them or like make yourself feel like as if you're better than them, but just constantly analyze where they went wrong and see how your actions do that. Do not be in denial that it could be a possibility for you because we are all capable of carrying bad habits from our parents. But with that being said, though, what do you guys think of this whole situation? Do you agree with my take, or do you have any opposing beliefs about it? I really appreciate. I'd be interested to see what you guys have to write. With that being said, my people, God bless. Take care. I'll see you guys next video.